Good morning, everybody. Welcome back from Salman Scott Selections here for Saturday, September 17th. Before getting today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. Really not much to go through. Gave that a look at play in the NFL on Sunday. So if you want some NFL action, check out the video before this one. Plus, did the college show with Scott Steen. So I gave out 3 college plays for tomorrow if you want some football action. But for the actual play of the day video, we're going to talk about a sport that we have not talked about in a long time. It's going to be boxing. We're going to look at a matchup between Canelo and Triple G taking place at roughly 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this matchup, we actually like a method of victory in this matchup. We like Canelo to win by decision at plus 110 on BetMGM. Time recording of 1:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like Canelo to win by decision in this matchup. First reason, I'm going to take the same approach that I usually use for the UFC, which is trying to find value on huge favorites by taking exact outcomes. Canelo is roughly a minus 500 favorite on the money line. He's 450 in some spots, he's 550 in other spots, but he's basically a consensus minus 500 if you average it out. And him by decision, you're saving roughly $5. I think that's definitely a great price, especially based on how the first 2 fights went. This will be the third fight between Canelo and Triple G. Each of the first 2 fights ended up going to decision. Canelo won the second one, and the first one was a draw. Now, to be fully honest with you, I thought Triple G got hosed in the first fight. I thought he easily won the first fight and got robbed. Second one was very close. You could have argued for a draw. I didn't exactly hate Canelo getting the decision there, but I did think it was probably a draw. The point is, though, the last fight was 4 years ago, basically on the dot. So now you're looking at the age of these fighters, and Triple G is definitely past his prime. Canelo is still 32 years old. Triple G is now 40, which explains why Canelo is such a big favorite on the money line when the first 2 fights were extremely close. But to go through the actual history or the overall records for each fighter, they don't exactly take much damage, or when they do, they really don't go down. Canelo's been in 61 career fights. He has 0 knockout losses. Triple G's been in 44 career fights. He also has 0 knockout losses. So both fighters have great chins, or they just have great defense. And the point is, I don't exactly expect many opportunities for either fighter to knock out the opposition in this matchup. Plus, if you want to go through the recent results here, Canelo ended up losing his last fight, but he did move up in weight class, did fight at a light heavyweight, and lost to Bivol. But you look at his fights before that in middleweight, beat Caleb Plant, beat Billy Joe Saunders, beat Caleb Smith. 3 very solid boxers, and he ended up winning those fights pretty handily. Golovkin has won each of his last 4 ever since losing that majority decision to Álvarez back in 2018. But you look at who he's fought against, and I'd say the level of competition is decent, but probably not up to the same level as Canelo. He ended up beating Murata. He beat, I'm going to butcher this last name, but Zaremeta beat him. Also ended up beating a guy with an even crazier last name, beat Sergey by unanimous decision, and beat Steve Rolls. They're all decent boxers. They're not amazing by any means, but Canelo fought much tougher competition, beating the likes of Plant and Saunders. So I do think that Canelo is in better form at this stage of their careers. But at the end of the day, you're looking at a situation where Canelo has gone the distance with Triple G both times, and he won one of them. But he's minus 500 on the money line, and it's plus 110 to see history repeat itself 4 years ago. I think that Triple G is a great fighter. He's one of my all-time favorite fighters. But the fact that Canelo is this big of a favorite, and the fact that it took roughly 4 years to have the trilogy fight kind of makes me believe that Triple G's kind of in a bad spot for this one. And it seems like Canelo finally accepted the trilogy once he kind of noticed a little bit of regression amongst Triple G's skill set. But at plus 110, I think it's a great deal, and I'm going to take it. So play that once again here for Saturday, September 17th, is going to be on Canelo Álvarez to win by decision at plus 110 on BetMGM. Bye, everyone.